News First, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
Good morning. A very warm welcome to Newsline. Live from the News First studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And on this wet morning, we've got here as our valued guest, Mr. Upulja Suri, that eminent legal personality, amongst other things. Very good morning to you.
Good morning for us.
The rule of law. How is the rule of law doing in Sri Lanka?
Rule of law situation definitely has improved in Sri Lanka since the 8th of January. This is something that has been accepted by all parties concerned. The appointing process of the judges, which was in shambles prior to that, there has been some sanity brought in again with the promulgation of the 17th Amendment by way of the 19th Amendment. The Constitutional Council has been established. The people of eminent personalities and stature are being considered and then appointed. There were about 3 vacancies that arose thereafter. After the Constitutional Council was re-established, and this has everyone is happy about these appointments in the Supreme Court and also the Court of Appeal. The appointment of other personalities like the Honorable Attorney General and several other appointees in this sphere of rural law is concerned. So this is a happy beginning.
Right. So plenty of confidence?
Plenty of confidence, and also look at the kind of orders that are now being made by the Supreme Court. Some of the orders are very much against the ruling government. But the Supreme Court has been given that confidence that has been built over this short period to give even orders against the government in power. Did it ever happen previously? I mean, did it ever happen? There were cases filed with regard to the Greek bonds. I filed it. I argued it. And it was totally rejected. Not even leave was granted.
But they did look into that matter, didn't they?
No, not at all. And the other one was with regard to the EPF money. More than 11 billion was lost in the purchase of shares in the stock market. They used that for the pump and dump theory of the stocks. And FR was filed. Not even leave was granted. Even bond, this is Greek bonds. Nearly 4 billion has been lost. They all responsibility goes to the then governor. Now we hear that there is another scam that has come up. It will come out soon, I believe. The entrust scam. The central bank and the respective parties have lost 8 billion by a company. This entrust, they did the same thing. Nearly, I think, 2013. They were short of the bonds, or rather they sold the bonds. In short, they sold the bonds that they purchased for their clients of value of 400 million. And they were told, behave like good boys, and then replace it. What did they do? They would have sold some other bond and then brought the money there.
There's now a cease and desist order against them, isn't there? Against Entrust.
Yeah, steps have been taken.
Yes.
Steps have been taken.
Now, that appears to be all well and good, except we have the small matter of the former first son being remanded yesterday, and the former president, Mahinda Rajapaksa, who says that this is political victimization and nothing else. And he then says, is the government happy?
Look, when the orders are given against the government, they won't say these are political orders. When the orders are given that doesn't make them happy, they say these are political orders. His allegation should be leveled against the judiciary. The remanding order has been made by a judge, the lady judge, who is much above board, right? And her conduct has been spotless. And she, quite rightly, has made her own order. If a party is not satisfied with the orders she has made, there is another court to go to. So the court will look at it with the technicalities that they ought to look at it. This is not a matter for the politicians to talk about in public. If they are condemning an order of this nature, then it wouldn't do any good for those people who are sitting on the bench making these orders. There is a process that you have to go through. If there is an order, if some person is not satisfied, there is a process they can go up and then seek to revise the orders.
But are you not worried that by these actions, the public at large, especially in the rural mass, will have even more sympathy for President Rajapaksa and his family? And wouldn't that then be detrimental eventually when it comes to the voting?
I don't know whether there will be sympathy or anger. When one by one these incidents are coming out, you should not look at the remanding order, look at the allegation. You should not start it from the wrong end of the stick.
Right.
What the allegation is that he has accepted 70 million rupees on the basis of it was going to some sports club or some rugby tournament.
Yeah.
And they have pocketed the money. Is that right? So the rural masses should be told this is the allegation. So whether there should be sympathy at that stage, we have to take it from there. I don't think masses in this country would support anybody, any politician, irrespective of his status or the level in the society, would tolerate this kind of mass robberies. These are monies that could have been used by that company for some better purpose. No one is allowed to use the father's reputation and then go and ask for money from private companies that they come here to make investments.
Could that be construed as extortion?
It's extortion. It's extortion. The least is extortion. So the question is not the remanding order. Look at the allegation.
Yeah. I want to ask you this. Is there interference by others which sort of precludes you from doing your job properly? And because there's a number of allegations that you are not delivering for whatever reason.
You're not?
That you're not delivering in your capacity. But is that because is there interference? Are you not able to do your job fully, independently?
No, I don't think there is any interference at all. The board of directors of the Board of Newsfirst have the complete freedom to decide as it ought to and to implement these decisions. I'll tell you briefly what we have done so far. With regard to the allocation of lands in the BOI zones, of which at least 10% of the BOI companies are established, we had a system earlier where people come and then ask for a piece of land, and then behind the doors it's negotiated and then given the land. Nobody knows what these lands are. Nobody knows that there is a availability of lands or even abandoned premises in different zones. We are now brought in a transparent system where it goes through a tender procedure. In the sense, we call for quotations, publish in the papers, publish in the websites, send it to the foreign missions, and they have to submit their proposal on a two annual basis. One is on the proposal itself, otherwise is on the price of the land. Now, for instance, recently a land price which the upset price would have been, the lowest price would have been $60,000 in Sitawaka. We gave it to the highest bidder at $110,000 per acre. Right. So it's almost double. Same way in Katunayaka, some of these people who had taken these properties about 3-4 years back, sometimes 2-3 years back, they were holding on to it without executing the project. So we had to cancel them. We had to cancel them and then again go through the process. Now there is a bid for one of those lands which we advertise and then repeatedly advertise. And finally we have got a bid which should have been sold for 43,000 rupees a perch. Now there is a bid for the same land, a competitive bid on a sealed quotation for 450,000 rupees per perch. So we have to be tough. These decisions are not easy to take. But all for in the name of the transparency and for the interest of the institution.
But how often do you get a call or a little conversation in a corridor somewhere saying, Upo, go easy on this, I'll let you know? How often?
None, never.
What?
I would also say,
what happens if they did that to you? What would you do?
even if they did that, my answer and the response would be, sorry, I'll decide.
Right. We're going to have to take a short break for a moment. We'll come back to you. But I want to tell you about the GovMed, the 100-day program, which started yesterday. All you need to do is actually to identify a project you want to help, and we will do the rest. It's important to note that Newsfirst, together with several other organizations and individuals, have already pledged financial support to ensure the 100-day initiative makes a difference in the lives of Sri Lankans. And the hotline number to share with us what you'd like us to do is 0114 896 896. That's 0114 896 896. That's for the GovMed 100-day program. Upul, I see you've got this. Tell us about this award, the Rule of Law Award. How significant is it? What is it? Tell us about
this
it.
is an award that was presented to me by the Commonwealth Lawyers Association in Glasgow in 2015. Every year, rather every 2 years.
Could you hold it up so that we can get a shot of that, please?
Every 2 years,
Yeah.
they present this award
Yeah.
to a lawyer from the Commonwealth, and the first one was awarded in 2013,
Right.
and that was to Robin Sally of Canada.
Right.
And this is the second award that was made to me. I'm the holder till 2017.
Right.
Until such time that they'll hold the competition again and then award it. And this
Yeah.
also entailed another cash award of $5,000 US.
Right.
That was presented to me, which I represented to Mrs. Sandhya Eknaligoda.
Pradeep Eknaligoda's wife.
Pradeep Eknaligoda's wife. Because I thought those are the people whom we fought for to re-establish, whose rights have been deprived, and that's for the absence of the rule of law. So I thought that cash award belongs to them. So this is sentimental, so this is kept with me.
Wonderful. Well done. We've got a couple of calls coming through. One says, lands inside zones are meant to be taken without much hassle, and there should be uniformity in the land prices. Otherwise, it will act as a deterrent on investment. Agreed?
No.
No.
Lands cannot be given at giveaway prices. For every land, there is a market price.
Right.
Why should it be given, if there are more than one bidder for that same thing, shouldn't every bidder be given the opportunity of submitting the bid and then being considered openly? Why should it be given to X over Y or Y over Z? It should be a process where everyone has an equal opportunity of submitting the bid. So let them be, there should be some criteria.
Yeah.
If you go only on the proposal basis, one can say this is subjective criteria.
Yeah.
It should be a combined criteria with the proposal and also the price.
The other one, another question here. It's to do with interference and you not being able to do your job properly. Isn't there, or wasn't there, a directive asking you not to take up any investments until the government policy was declared?
No, not a directive. It's like this: to go out and then promote. The government is now formulating its policy through the recently to be established Agency for Development, and once it is done, we'll be going all out to attract them on the basis of the policy that will be decided.
I see. So has the government given you that policy yet or not yet?
It's been worked out. because a lot of work has been put into this. I think most of the private sector personnel, eminent people have been selected.
Do you get frustrated sometimes that it's a bit slow?
You have to go through a process, because we can't be spending too much of money on this promotion until such time we exactly know what our policies and the
But what's the alternative if you don't spend, and then you might not get the investment? You might go away to some other place.
We have to do it in a systematic and with a plan that we have to do, not for the immediate 3 months or 1 year, but for the rest of the future of the BOI.
What you've said before, they're all very laudable, but in the overall big picture, they're sort of almost peanuts, really, because we're looking to see where are these big investments that could perhaps change the face of our economy.
That's a good question again. At the moment, there are about 6 investors, the least. There are more than 6 investors who are willing to invest $4.45 billion in the power sector, in the LNG. Right? And there again, everyone accepts that LNG is the cheapest source of power. So this is a matter for they're all lined up.
Right.
Even His Excellency the President was also very concerned about it, and he summoned the CB and the investors and all the relevant parties and the ministers, and then encouraged them to go take the decisions fast, so that these investors will not move away. Then apart from that, there is also another big investment that's around the corner. That's for $2,500 million investment for an oil refinery for total exports. That's Sri Lankan people are spearheading it, but also the US funding is coming for that through the Exim banks. Then thirdly,
does that place an additional burden? Is there anything to do with the government?
Nothing to do with the government, because there is no commitment with the government at all. This is for total exports. And if the Sri Lankan government or the Petroleum Corporation want to buy something from them, if the price is right, they can decide to buy it. Then thirdly, there is also another big investment coming when I met them in Kunming in China. That's for a total integrated project of making firstly the composite boards and thereafter the furniture. And so their target is to cater to the Western market, and also that's an investment of over $700 million, fully automated factory. They need about 500 acres for that. So these are the investment that we are looking for. The amount of investment and the amount of the FDI is not an issue, but we have to take certain decisions and then facilitate these investments to go through fast.
But the point is that 18 months have gone by. The patient might die.
No, these investments have come during the last few months.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they have come during the last few months, and then we are working on that. As far as BOI is concerned, we have now decided that within 1 week we will give the approval, or affirmatively, or we'll say no, subject to various other issues like the availability of land, the CEA approval, or the availability of power, or the local government approval, because sometimes people come to a misconception saying that we are delaying. It's not that the BOI is delayed, but there are certain line agencies who have to get lined up and then keep pace with the speed that we are moving.
I think part of the problem, it's not really a problem, but it's that the people expect the chairman of the BOI to come up with the numbers. Every time there's no FDI, or it's very low, the spotlight is turned, dazzlingly so, onto the chairman of the BOI. And so if the BOI chairman's got his hand tied behind his back a little bit, or even pulled behind, or they put some soap in front of you, or oil for you to slip over, this is all going to add to your inability to deliver fast and quickly. What do you say? I'm asking again and again, actually, this morning. I'm trying to find out how much of interference there is.
No, I can't say there is any interference.
I'll tell you why.
A lot of steps have been taken from different quarters to assist the BOI in formulating our policies. So we are also guided by such advice and the overall policy that's been worked out with the experts and the eminent personnel from the private sector, like I think I don't want to name them, but they are very, very eminent people in the business world. They have done Sri Lanka proud. So they also have the experience. So we need to get the private sector flavor into the BOI. We have to work, though we are a government institution, we have to work in our policy making and also the implementation of the policy in lines with the private sector attitudes.
The thing is, we're all aware of your ability, and that award only sort of proves what we all know. So that's why I think the expectation level is up there, and we're hoping that Upuja Surya, as the chairman of the BOI, is going to deliver. Now I'm going to ask you another question. News is made up of bits and pieces of information that comes to us. One such information I got yesterday was that there is a move to have some form of super BOI. True?
No, it's not a super BOI. It's an agency for development, and that's a new law. It's in the making, and that will be also for the purpose of making policy. That's what I referred to a while ago as policy making body that are established to help the BOI. So that's the one that's in the making.
I see. Any truth that Arjuna Mahendran will head it?
I have no information about that.
Right. On that note, we're going to take a short commercial break. Otherwise, the producer will be in trouble. So do stay tuned. This is, after all, Newsline. We'll be back after this break.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz Shaukatali.